Welcome to the County Court of Victoria, which is the primary trial court of the state, and equivalent to the district court in other jurisdictions. This is a criminal courtroom and differs slightly from a civil courtroom. All courtrooms are different, reflecting the different types of matters being heard, the age of the building, and the style of the architecture. However, the basic layouts are usually similar, and the protocols and positioning of people in the courtroom are also similar. Arrangements can be quite flexible, and matters can be heard anywhere if required, not only in traditional courtrooms. And during the COVID pandemic, arrangements have been made to allow for social distancing. Once you arrive at court, remain outside until you're called. While you're outside, and if you have a file, take your file out of your bag so that you have it ready for when you enter the courtroom. Under special circumstances, you will be allowed to come into court to hear other witnesses give their evidence. However, this is only in exceptional circumstances. When you enter the court, make a slight bow as a sign of respect to the court. If there is some reason why you cannot bow, for maybe cultural or religious reasons, let the court know ahead of time, and they will make arrangements and let the people in the court know that this is not a sign of disrespect. Walk slowly to the witness box. Whatever you do, do not walk between the bar table and the bench. As you approach the witness box, leave your bag outside and step into the witness box. Place your file face down and remain standing until you have taken the oath or the affirmation. Taking the oath or the affirmation is a very serious business, and you will notice that everyone in the courtroom ceases speaking and stands still while the oath is being taken. Once you've taken the oath, you can sit down. Once you sit in the witness box, face either the presiding officer or the jury. The advocates from the bar table will be asking you the questions. Face them while they're asking you the question, but give your answer to the jury or the presiding officer, as they're the people who need to hear your answer. Talking about files, think how you want to present your files so that you can find information quickly and efficiently in the courtroom. With reference to your notes, you cannot refer to them until you've been given permission by the court. Strictly speaking, you can't refer to your notes at all until you have exhausted your memory. However, the courts do recognise that experts' notes often include a lot of technical detail, and they need to refer to this to give accurate evidence. Let's start at the front of the court. So this is known as the bench. This is where the judge, the magistrate, or the coroner sits. You'll notice that the bench is higher than everywhere else in the courtroom, and that allows the presiding officer to have a good view of what is happening in the courtroom. The judges will be robed and sometimes wearing wigs, whereas coroners and magistrates will be wearing business attire. There may be other people seated at the bench. This could be the court reporter, a bench clerk, or a court officer. Below the judge's bench, you'll find another series of desks. In the higher courts, this is where the judge's associate and the court officer will sit if they're not sitting on the bench. The judge's associate will be robed and the court officer may be in uniform. The judge's associate has a number of roles, both inside the court and outside the court. Whilst the court is sitting, the associate is responsible for a number of things, including arraigning the accused, which involves reading out the indictment, participating in the selection of jurors, acting as the judge's PA and organising paperwork and records, administering oaths and affirmations when the court officer is not present in court, and making other announcements in the absence of the court officer. Outside court proceedings, the associate acts as the judge's research assistant, and in addition, the judge may have an administrative assistant or access to administrative assistance. I'm now sitting at the court officer's desk. In the higher courts in Victoria, the court officer is known as the tipstaff. The court officer is responsible for the security of the court and the management of the court, and the care of the jury where there is one. The court officer will announce that the court is in session and administers oaths and affirmations. They will escort the jury in and out of the court and deal with practical matters for the jury. Some judges have 2 associates rather than an associate and a court officer. This table is known as the bar table, and it's where the advocates sit with their instructing solicitors and juniors if they have them. It's called the bar table because it's traditionally where the barristers sit. However, in the lower courts, you'll also find solicitors and police prosecutors sitting at the bar table. The position of each advocate at the bar table differs from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and from court to court. The instructing solicitors are responsible for the preparation of the case and liaising with the witnesses. In some courts, they sit next to the advocates. So this is the jury box. A jury box is used in all criminal trials unless the accused actually elects to have a judge-alone case, which they're allowed to do in some jurisdictions. In civil matters, juries are only used in defamation and personal injury cases. In a criminal matter, there's 12 members in the jury. In a civil matter, there's 6 members in the jury. I'm now standing in the dock. This is where the accused will either stand or sit during the court proceedings. There will usually be a number of security guards or corrections officers sitting in the dock with the accused. Some courts have an enclosed dock. These courts are used for high-risk cases. This is the jury room. This is where the jury goes during the day while the court is in recess, and where they undertake their deliberations. I hope that you've enjoyed this short tour of the County Court. If you wish to learn more about the Australian legal system, the courts of Australia, and the provision of expert evidence, please do not hesitate to contact Forensic Foundations.